I own an MSP. So we service about a little bit more than 50 businesses in the Northern California area. And I have a marketing team that teaches me how to market my business. They don't do it for me. That leaves it up to me to create the marketing material that they recommend. And constantly, social media, you got to be on social media. If you're not on social media, you're missing out on the most singularly effective and accessible form of advertising the world has ever seen. And all you have to do essentially is find the time. Well, that's really difficult for somebody like me who is currently managing a team of engineers in a business that I started 25 years ago. The idea was for me to automate the creation of my social media content, which right now is fully tested and working well with YouTube. And I make every day, I have a schedule that automatically creates my content for me based on a script that either I have written or GPT has written, or even the Pictory API. The Pictory will write it for me too if I want it. It automates the creation. It actually is great too, because I have an intro that I like to use in my videos, in my shorts, and an outro. The content is anything from snarky takedowns of big tech blunders to the 5 best ways that you can protect the Wi-Fi in your house, or the very best password hygiene that you can use to protect your business, that kind of thing. Generally, we work with small businesses almost exclusively. And so a combination of those things, honestly, the snarky videos where I'm taking down big tech blunders get the most views. But I can also, and I use the Pictory API, built a fairly simple pipe dream automation on the back end that does the API calls and then puts everything together for me. All I really got to do is watch it and see if I like what I'm seeing, or make a couple of adjustments. It has cut down the creation time of that marketing material, those videos that I make, from a couple hours to a few minutes. It's really been kind of a godsend.
Wow. So your script is automatically created. It sends it to the Pictory APIs. It renders the video. You review the video and then you kind of approve it. And then
That's right.
You post it manually, or it's automatically posted it?
And this was really just meant for me and my own business, but now I see the potential because what makes it unique is that I wanted it to not only sound like me in voice. I went to 11 Labs and created a pro voice, so it sounds exactly like me, which is remarkable. But I gave it access to my OneDrive, my SharePoint. I have documents in there on lectures that I have done, white papers that I have written, presentations that I have made, scope of work, anything that's got my business DNA in it. I have given access to the platform that I've been tinkering together so that it can pull all of that stuff out and go, this is the way that Christian would present his business, not just in a generic kind of way, but that it sounds like something that his friends, his family, and his customers would recognize as his own voice.
Amazing.
Not just my own voice in voice, but the way I say things.
Yeah.
So, and it works. I'm still basically in alpha and it's working. I tried basically anything Pictory was the only thing that really was able to, it was the only thing I was able to get it to work with. And I'll reiterate, I'm not a coding genius by any measure. I'm pretty good with PowerShell, and I have to be in my capacity as a cybersecurity engineer. But in terms of how to, I hate to use the term vibe coding because it's not. I wish it were that simple. But Pictory was really the only thing that could make that rendering pipeline from GPT creating my content for me, pushing it through, and having video output on the other end in just a few minutes. It's
amazing.
So getting there, but I got it there.
This app is a Replit app that you built in Replit?
But I also use it. So it took me a couple months to figure out how best to do, because Replit couldn't handle it all, and it wouldn't scale properly either, and I couldn't secure it right. Okay. So, but ultimately, I've been able to tinker it together with those things, and Pictory got me over the finish line. I wouldn't have been able to do it. I've got an MVP alpha at this point.
This is great. You built like a content marketer's dream. Like this.
This
is what everybody's looking for in marketing. Automatically generating content, which sounds.
I've enjoyed the challenge of putting it together. I've never attempted something like this before, but I'm really grateful that because I don't know that I could have actually gotten it over the finish line by myself without Pictory and the way that the API works and the way the workflow works. It's not terribly hard to understand.
Awesome. Did you try, like, you arrived at Pictory because you were looking at the API. Did you try the web app as well? Like how
I
did you
use the
find it?
API. I was using the web app, and I still do from time to time for manual creation while I was working on this thing.
Okay.
Because if I couldn't, it really wasn't even about getting the workflow. The workflows worked for quite a while now. It was really about making sure that OAuth works consistently with YouTube and Facebook. That was not easy for me. That took me longer than pretty much anything else to figure out. But also, in the beginning, I wasn't even sure what tools to use. You know, I kept hearing that the text to JSON would work, but you've got to figure out, you got to get the AI to stitch the audio, to sync the audio from 11 Labs together with the video. And I just couldn't get it to work right. Pictory was almost like, oh my God, something that does it already. You know, I don't have to figure out how to tinker that part together. It already does that.
Yeah. Amazing.
So, yeah,
What a great story. I love hearing that. And our API is getting a lot of attention. So it's good to hear like success stories of kind of at some point, I'd love to see a demo of your system in action.
be happy to give you one.
Yeah, and
Very happy to give you one.
would be fantastic. We'd love to see it if you have it.
I can show you. Can I share the screen? Okay, cool. So this is actually, there's a bunch of different things that I'm trying to get to work right. Here's my voice DNA. That's what we're calling it anyway. Where when you start with it, you upload samples of recordings, samples of writings, and then it works on emotional arc templates based on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Platform specific adaptations, as you can see, TikTok, YouTube, you know, because they have slightly different hook styles and slightly, I didn't know any of this either. What works best on TikTok might not necessarily be what works best for YouTube. So I'm just going to give you, you know, the 50,000 foot overview. Here is the AI will actually analyze all of the things that you give it to analyze. As I said, you know, your documents, you can actually, I have a button where you can press record and speak into it. It'll translate that stuff and figure out what your style of communication is. And here's partially the database of the different things that it captures in terms of characterization, confidence and warmth and snark and humor, authority, urgency, how well you tell a story and teaching style. But I wanted to make this adaptive too. So I've been doing business 25 years. I did not speak the same way I did 25 years ago. So I wanted to make sure that as I use my own platform here over the next few years or decades or whatever I've got left. So here is where is actually my rendering pipeline right here. The automated, you can actually go in here and have it generate something for you. And this is what I've been tinkering with because it kept generating stuff I didn't like. So I pick, here's actually, this is my Pictory pipeline. I don't have any other ones built. So this is actually, it's handled 100% by Pictory at this point. So I pick the video format. If I want to generate, you know, up to 10 scripts in a day for my YouTube Shorts platform and format, it'll do that for me. My subject matter expertise, you can actually customize this because the idea was also to make it vertical neutral. You know, I'm in the cybersecurity business, but not everybody who's going to want to use it will be. So you can put in what it is you do so that when it goes and looks for news or it looks for keywords or it looks for, because I've got GPT-5 connected to it, and that's what's looking for news and ideas to create the scripts from. You put that stuff in here and it'll go look for what it is that you're looking for, and then it'll remember it. So here's where I haven't quite zeroed in on how to make all the music work because you have quite a library of music. So do I want it to generate the subtitles? Yeah. Do I want it to generate the descriptions for YouTube? Yes. Generate the hashtags and thumbnails and all that stuff. It does that. And then I can click here. I'm not going to generate 10 now. And I can make templates. So I want this one to be my daily tech snark. So here's the prompt that goes with it. Write a short script for YouTube, 30 to 45 seconds. It delivers painfully snarky takedown of the recent tech blunder or corporate screw up. Make it sound sarcastic, witty, and confident, like a late night host roasting someone. Avoid using jargon, everyday language. Throw in pop culture analogies and end with a punchy closing line that makes the viewer laugh and also think. use recent news articles, posts, social media posts, Reddit reports, industry news, etc. You get the idea. But I
George
understand
Carlin would be proud.
right. That's interestingly, of course, GPT-5 knows me at this point and understands what I mean. And so that's what it generates for me. So let's see if I can get it to generate one that isn't screwy. This is what I was doing before we called, where I called was reworking it a bit. It takes a few minutes. If I can also, and again, the hands-off idea is that if I have a template that I like, I can click save down here and then click automate. And it'll just do it on a dynamic schedule. So if I want one set of snarky stuff to go out at certain points during the day, but not on Saturday or Sunday, I've got a dynamic scheduler that I can use to make that happen. So it looks like it rendered a couple here. So I would click this button here. Well, I want to dynamically swap out some of that stuff and make it more, I want to change the language in it. So if I click this button, it'll change the language to something a little bit more accessible using the general rules.
Got it.
So, and here it'll tell you what your viral potential is, your overall quality score, what the reading level has been, and then what terms have been changed to. But this one is still, it's doing what it was doing earlier on me and generating funny stuff. But you get the idea.
Yeah.
So
and then once you save the script, then it's gonna start the rendering pipeline. And
so, and I'll show you. So if I click approve and queue, well, now it's been approved and it's ready for rendering. And a button's going to pop up here at some point or another. But here's one that I was experimenting earlier with different voices and different video formats. So it should actually be here unless I deleted it. Yeah, here it is. So I'll open it. This is what I got from Pictory when I was experimenting with this.
Friday, when the world blue screened like it got dumped by text. One security update.
So that's
CrowdStrike.
It works.
Millions of
Here's the truth. AI hype hasn't created smarter gadgets. It's created lazier ones. It's like the entire tech industry swapped out innovation for a chatbot in a trench coat. So next time your toaster brags it's AI enabled, just remember, it still can't make toast without you. This is Christian with NetRock Custom Cybersecurity and AI Solutions, protecting you from gadgets that are as useless as Siri in a thunderstorm since 2002.
So that is the product of what I just showed you.
It's great. It's awesome. So have you been able to see business results from it? Like, are you getting new leads, new
I just started testing it the third week in June. My YouTube channel had, I want to say it had 3 subscribers since 2018. And the 1 or 2 videos that I posted had something like 40 views or whatever. Here, I'll drag this. I already stopped sharing, but I'm up to 13,000 plus views, up 78% in subscribers, which is just a handful still. But it's been a lot of tinkering and trying to get the timing right for posting. So I'm not seeing any direct results other than I'm finally getting engagement on platforms that have been dead, mostly because I haven't had time to do any of this.
Yeah.
So the irony is, of course, that for me to put this thing together and to dig in and figure out how to make it work, it took a lot of time. But ultimately, I'm going to do this as either a SaaS project or, and sell it. I have a lot of clients that would benefit by it because they're mostly small businesses, 60 or less, 60 or fewer employees, and that would help them dramatically. Or ultimately sell it.
Yeah.
And great. Again, thank you. That's why I was so excited to talk to you, just to say thank you. You see, I really didn't know how I was going to make it work when all the other things that I tried didn't. Pictory is the only thing that did.
Super. Thank you so much, Christian, for your time. This is exciting to see our API in action and helping you get your YouTube views up and getting your business